So Ryan Singer, you're the project lead for the Peace Markets Stanford Peace Innovation Lab. What is that, and who do you help?
So Peace Markets is a project at the Peace Innovation Lab. The Peace Innovation Lab is part of HSTAR. We're a Human Sciences Research Institute under the Dean of Research, so we're not part of any academic department. Peace Markets is my project, and we're building a commodity-style marketplace to buy and sell peace like carbon credits.
So when you say building a marketplace, what do you mean by that?
So we've developed this data structure looking at peace innovation and looking at ways to create measurable increases in peace. We've noticed this data structure that turns up over and over again, which is you have person A doing something unilateral to person B. Could be poking them on Facebook, could be friend requesting, could be buying them a sandwich, whatever. But the idea is that data structure where you overlay demographics on top of transactions is very easy to notice. And so we discovered this when we were helping Facebook build peace.facebook.com, which is an amazing website where you get to see the number of people who friend each other across interest and conflict boundaries like religious or geographic or political. And it just every day is a data point, and every day they post yesterday's data. And so you can watch how many Republicans and Democrats friend each other day in, day out, and the trends up and down. You can say, oh, that day had significantly less, why is that? Or that day had significantly more, why is that? Yeah. So the idea for Peace Markets was, what if we could monetize increasing those numbers? There are a lot of those conflict boundaries where a lot of people lose money because of the conflict, or would make more money if there was less conflict. How do we help them buy peace? So
can you give me a analogy or some kind of example of how this would work?
Yeah.
In a real situation.
So the State Department has a budget for economic development in West Bank and Gaza. And this is a risky thing for the State Department because if something were to happen, that Israel were to put trade sanctions on the Palestinian government, they wouldn't be able to spend this budget and they'd lose it. And bureaucrats don't like losing budget. So the question for the person who's got this budget isn't just, how do I spend this money? But how do I spend this money in a way that increases peace and makes conflict, which would cause me to lose this budget, less likely? So the platform we hope to launch next year, we're hoping to launch a pilot in September and this platform next year. The platform we hope to launch next year, he can take part of that budget and say, we'll pay $1 per for proof of in-person financial interactions in between Israelis and Palestinians, up to $100,000 a month. And Visa can see that and run a marketing program to bring Israelis into Palestinian cafes. And hopefully they make a profit on the peace revenue versus the marketing program. And it increases peace by introducing Israelis to Palestinian cafe owners, cafe workers, and having a peaceful coffee-related relationship.
So peace through business transactions.
That's right. That's the goal.
Is that just one way, or is there other ways that this could?
Potentially, we could pay Facebook for friending people on Facebook, or for social check-ins when you check in with someone who's across a conflict boundary, or people who are at risk for rival gangs playing soccer together, like the Boys and Girls Club. Wherever you have person A, person B, unilateral action, and someone who cares about subsidizing peace across that conflict boundary. So you've got to have the supply of certifiable peace and the demand for that.
So what's the genesis of this? You come from an open source background. You worked at Sun like I did, doing open office. So how did you get to this point here with this project?
I met the co-founder of this lab at a resort. And we started talking about open source and mass collaboration. And he said at the Peace Innovation Lab, they were having a lot of issues with mass collaboration and how do you work together with people all geographically distributed. And so I came in and I did a few talks about how open source solves some of those problems. You know, both technical with IRC and mail servers and stuff like that, but also organizational and how do you organize communities with different cultures and stuff like that. And they liked me and they invited me to stay, and I chose this project as the one to kind of champion.
That's really cool. So if our listeners are out there, viewers, whatever, how would they engage with this, or what would be a call to action? Do you have a website or something?
So we're building a website at peacemarkets.org. but it's not up yet. Right now, if you go there, it'll forward you to our Facebook group, which is where you get announcements.
Okay.
Right now, we're looking for banks and social networks to partner with.
Okay.
So if you have a position at a bank or at a social network, this could be potentially very big news for you.
Yeah.
Banks have a legal obligation to invest in communities where it's a low-income community and they have branches open. It's called the Community Reinvestment Act.
Okay.
And we think that buying peace could be a very affordable and very worthwhile way to comply with the Community Reinvestment Act. And we have interesting lawyers and policy experts who agree with us. So if you're at a bank and you have that budget, let me know.
Well, that's terrific. Hey, thanks for coming on the show today, and good luck with that. This sounds like a very worthwhile kind of thing.
Thank you.
Awesome.